We are taught a simple sequence: study hard, get a good job, earn a high salary. We're told this path guarantees lasting wealth. But a paycheck, regardless of its size, rarely results in financial freedom. This bar chart shows income levels rising steeply from $50,000 to $150,000. Yet the savings gap at the end of each bar remains non-existent at $0. Right now, 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and that includes doctors, engineers, and lawyers taking home six-figure salaries. Take two people living in the exact same economy. Taylor earns $55,000 a year as a teacher. Chris earns $150,000 a year as a software engineer. The difference in their ultimate financial security comes down entirely to behavior. By age 55, Taylor has $800,000 invested and compounding. Chris has $40,000 in savings, weighed down by $180,000 in consumer debt. The modern financial system is engineered to turn high earners into reliable consumers. Without a deliberate, systemic escape plan, a large salary simply allows you to consume more expensive products. A salary is classified as active income. It requires a constant, direct trade of your physical presence and time for money. You show up, you get paid. You stop working, the money stops flowing. This equation shows the trap of active income. Time multiplied by your hourly rate equals your income. Because there are only 24 hours in a day, your ability to generate wealth hits a hard limit. You cannot scale your physical presence. Standard corporate raises offer the illusion of progress. A typical 3 to 4% annual raise is almost entirely neutralized by average inflation. Your dollar amount goes up, but your actual purchasing power stays exactly the same year over year. Looking at this graph, watch what happens when you introduce lifestyle inflation. As the income line steps up, the expense line immediately rises to perfectly meet it. The apartment gets bigger, the car gets nicer, and the gap between earning and spending stays at zero. Attempting to build wealth by simply increasing a salary without changing the underlying math leaves you trapped on a treadmill. You exert far more effort, run much faster, and remain exactly where you started. This flowchart on the left illustrates the standard consumer loop. You earn a paycheck, the highest possible tax rates are deducted immediately before you even see the money, and you spend whatever is left to enrich other corporations. The cycle repeats every 2 weeks. Now look at the wealthy loop on the right. High net worth individuals purchase assets first. Those assets generate returns, and they use those heavily protected returns to fund their lifestyle. The tax code structurally protects investment returns while maximizing the burden on manual labor. Capital gains, the profit earned from selling an asset like a stock or property, are taxed at significantly lower rates than standard W-2 wages. Warren Buffett routinely points out that he pays a lower effective tax rate than his secretary. The system is operating exactly as designed. Active income requires your manual labor. Passive income operates entirely independently of you. Dividends, rental yields, and business profits flow regardless of whether you are actively working, sleeping, or traveling. The primary goal of a wealthy individual is not to negotiate a higher hourly wage. The objective is to aggressively acquire assets that function as a 24/7 secondary income engine. High earners stay broke because 3 specific wealth killers silently drain their income: unoptimized taxes, high-interest debt, and unchecked lifestyle inflation. This graph demonstrates the mathematical devastation of consumer debt. The green curve shows market investments compounding upward. The red curve is a credit card with a 20% annual percentage rate, or APR, plunging downward. High-interest debt acts as reverse compounding. It destroys wealth faster than standard investments can build it. Reversing this begins by automating your investments. You must pay yourself before any corporate entity or lifestyle expense. Set a strict percentage of your paycheck to route directly into an investment account the moment it lands. Next, you have to aggressively eliminate high-interest consumer debt. You cannot out-invest a 20% interest rate dragging down your net worth. The moment a debt balance hits zero, take the exact dollar amount of that former monthly payment and funnel it directly into income-generating assets. You already proved you can live without that cash, so use it to build momentum. When you get a raise, keep your lifestyle costs entirely flat and redirect the excess cash flow into your investments. You stop acting as the manual labor engine and start owning the economic engine. A salary is a powerful tool, but it is not the destination. It is the temporary raw material required to build permanent wealth. The professionals living paycheck to paycheck on six-figure salaries do not lack work ethic. They lack systemic financial education. Stop letting your active income dictate your ceiling. Use it to systematically buy your freedom. But choosing the correct investment vehicle is critical. Storing your money in the wrong places can secretly drain your financial future while disguising itself as a smart decision. Achieving actual financial independence requires unlearning the definitions you were taught and identifying the real difference between an asset and a liability. Click the video on screen to see why most people get this entirely backwards.